All right, so one of the questions that I get all the time since I started playing Pets Go and I AFK it all the time is what I've basically been doing standing over here at the vending machine, which I just accidentally landed in the water there. But so many of you join me all the time since I do hang out in public servers and my joins are turned on. And a lot of you have noticed that I more or less for a good chunk of time was spending it over here at the potions vending machine, just macroing back and forth buying potions all night long. Well, for today, I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys not only how I macro the potions vending machine, but also how I macro the index shop, as well as the brand new merchant shop that it's all the way over there. In the mix of all of that, I will also throw in how to macro all of these things here in the middle. It's actually fairly simple. Thankfully, I don't have to show you the potion thing because that's kind of a thing of the past now, since we do have the bulk crafting upgrade. Now, to start things off, this is obviously going to be no surprise. You will need to unfortunately be on PC since there is no TinyTask for mobile players, unfortunately. So if you want to go ahead and download TinyTask yourself, you can go ahead and Google TinyTask. It's usually the very first thing that pops up inside of Google, which will be like tinytask.net or something along those lines. Once you've got that downloaded, it'll look something like what I have on the top right hand side over here. And the way that this works is very simple. You press the record button, you do a couple of keystrokes, mouse clicks and movements, and it will go ahead and keep track of that and replay it over and over again. One of the most important things that you want to go ahead and do is make sure that you click on preferences and turn on continuous playback, so that way it does this in an infinite loop. Now, one of the more popular methods that a lot of people like to do here on the potions machine, for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but they tend to start over here on the right hand side and then walk back and then walk to the side. It seems like there's a lot of margin there for your macro to break. Personally, I don't like doing that. The way that I do it is over here on the left hand side, and it's fairly simple. I have it set to F8 on my keyboard for recording and then print screen to go ahead and start it. So what I do is quite simple. Press F8 so that way we go ahead and start recording, or whatever button it is that you have it set to. Walk forward, walk back, press yes, walk forward, walk back, press yes, and do this over and over again until you've gone ahead and purchased every single one of them. At this point, you're going to get this pop-up. You press in the middle, and then you just walk back and you end your recording. That's it. That is literally all you have to do. It will continue to cycle through that over and over again. And this is probably one of the easier things to go ahead and set up to macro, which is kind of the reason why a lot of people tend to do this. Moving on over here to the index shop as well as the merchant shop. Both of these are going to be the exact same way. And I'm going to explain to you why I do it this way. So it's fairly straightforward. You go ahead, open up your index shop. So I'm able to go ahead and show you this kind of in action. I am going to go ahead and record this one so that way we can also play it here and also over at the merchant, so I can show you that it works on both sides. I didn't record the vending machine just because that one seems to be like the most easiest one to understand, but this one does require a couple of other steps. So again, open up your index shop, press F8. If you notice in the top right, it's recording. Move over, click here to purchase a couple of times. I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 times. Then you're going to move to over here and click 5 or 6 times on this one. Then you go to the next one, 5 or 6 times, and then go back down to this one 5 or 6 times. Same exact thing you want to do for all of them. And always make sure that you're coming back to this bottom middle one to press 5 or 6 times. There's a big reason why you do this. And as soon as I'm done recording this, I will explain why. So there we go. We went ahead and did it for all of them. And we're pretty much good. That's it. We press F8 again, and it is officially done recording. Now, the reason why we decide to go back to this one here in the middle every single time is because, unfortunately, inside of the index shop, there is the chance for you to get the crab hoverboard, the crab booth, the ice cream hoverboard, as well as the ice cream booth. The thing is that you can only purchase this item one time. So if you have a macro set up for this, and let's say you've already purchased the crab hoverboard, when you try to purchase it again, a prompt will pop up that says that you've already purchased this and you can't buy it again. The OK on that will always spawn right down here. So you sort of just want to stay right in between the sold out at the very bottom. Just click anywhere here and it will automatically get rid of that. Because you are going through every single one of them and returning back over here, it allows you to still purchase everything else that's on the index shop without completely missing out. Rather than if you didn't do that, what would happen is that you would always be missing out on potentially whatever is after. So let's say that the crab hoverboard was right here and the prompt ended up popping up at this point, then you would pretty much miss out on all of these until you get right back to the beginning and click on the OK. It's kind of complicated to explain it without showing you. So if you want, you can go ahead and do this however you want. And eventually you'll run into that part where you'll kind of break it and then you'll understand why I made that decision. Now, again, at this point, I would just hit print screen. If you notice, it's going back and forth forth, coming straight back to the middle one. If you notice in the top right, there's a timer going and it says 1 out of 0, which means that it's doing its first cycle. At this point, it'll go back and forth and then it'll start on its second cycle on the top right. And yeah, you just do this over and over again and you will be purchasing out the entire index shop every single time. But in the meantime, we're going to move over here to the merchant. So the way that this works and the reason why you always want to come back to the middle, even over here on the merchant shop, is because unlike in the index shop, whenever things are sold out, it gets blacked out and you cannot click anymore here. Over on the merchant side, when things are sold out, you're still able to click down here, which pops up a screen that says this item is sold out. Thing is that in order to hit OK on that, it's always going to be down here. So again, notice on the top right hand side, I'm going to press print screen and it's going to start purchasing everything and it comes back down there. The thing is that, remember, I didn't really click as many times as I should have. So it's going to keep doing this back and forth. But if you notice, the sold out screen is popping out. We're clicking OK and so forth. And then it's going to cycle back through, do it all over again. On top of that, I just noticed that I have this on 30x speed. I probably should have it on 1. With the introduction of the merchant shop, you're going to get yourself a lot of cocktails, a lot of rainbow dice potions. I went ahead and AFK'd this last night, and unfortunately, my UI is super bugged right now. If you notice, all of this is stuck up here, and I don't even have any of my things down here. I don't know why this always happens, but it's a bug that pretty much happens to everyone. Let me rejoin really quick. There we go. So from what I've noticed, apparently this happens whenever you're auto-rolling and you start crafting potions. Your UI just completely bugs out. Not sure why that happened. But like I was saying before, I went ahead and did this all night long. I was able to get 18 cocktails, which is by far the most that I've had so far. On top of that, I was also able to get 101 rainbow dice potions, which is insane. Got ourselves 11 lucky 3, 39 lucky 2 potions, and about 32 of the lucky 1. So we have a pretty good flow of stuff going on here. Also, faster roll potions 1 also pop up there, so I'm at 331 with those. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to turn them to 2s because, as you notice, I'm a little low on my fruits, and it's because I'm still doing the upgraded fruit thing. This is still not fixed. I don't know if it's ever going to be fixed or whatnot, but yeah, it's still very much working. If you notice, I didn't lose anything there at all whatsoever. So if you didn't see my video from yesterday, make sure that you check that out. There's a really cool trick at the very beginning that you should be doing ASAP. Now let's move in to the next thing, which is going to be farming for all of the breakables that are around here. This one is a fairly old one and something that a lot of people used to do even on Pet Sim, so you might be a little more familiar with this. But the beautiful thing between this and the update that happened yesterday is that it's now became 10 times better, which is great. If you're confused as to what I'm talking about, specifically, I am speaking about the upgrade that is located over here under breakable. You scroll all the way down here, there is now flying gifts. Assuming you have this completely maxed out, that means that you have auto fire, aimbot, and fully maxed out all of your flying gifts. Then that means that if you stand here in the middle and you basically turn on your TinyTask, hold down your arrow key and just spin around in circles, then turn on your auto clicker and just make sure that it's auto clicking and spinning around in circles. This works. It's always worked, and it's by far one of the best methods to do this. Obviously, you're not going to hit every single breakable, but if you angle it correctly, you will get the vast majority of them, mixed in with the fact that flying gifts will be all around here whenever the balloon apocalypse happen, which I believe is every 30 minutes or it lasts 30 minutes. I don't exactly remember how it was, but balloon apocalypse happen very often, and you will also be getting those automatically with your auto aim, so it's perfect. But yeah, man, this is a video that I've honestly been wanting to do for a while now. I just haven't really gotten around to it because so much different stuff is going on. I know I've read your DMs. I've gone ahead and replied to a lot of you that have asked me to make one of these videos, and I've told you that I would get around to it at some point. So this one is specifically for you guys, and I really do hope that it helps. If you have any questions whatsoever or you're running into any issues, let me know in the comments. Reach out to me on Discord. My DMs are always open. A little off topic, but if you guys notice over here in my mailbox, it is now completely empty because I've gone ahead and replied to every single one of you that messaged me, and I sent gifts over to you guys right before I started recording. There were so many of you that it actually even updated. I can't even see the ones that I sent before. There was easily, I want to say, at least 30 or 40 of you. A huge thank you to you guys, those of you that sent me pets, diamonds, and really nice messages. I truly appreciate it. Either way, man, I wanted to keep this one as short as possible and right to the point. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more Pets Go content. That's gonna do it for this one. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.